Hey everybody, the Gemara in Chul and Samach Amud Bet. Reish Lakish says, Harben mikraot shuruim lisrof. There's a lot of psukim in the Torah that deserve to be burnt. Now that's an extreme statement, but Rashi says what Reish Lakish really means is there's a lot of psukim in the Torah that we don't really see what the point of that pasuk is. And Reish Lakish continues, Vehen hen gufei Torah, but they're actually the most important parts of the Torah. One of those psukim is in this week's Parashat Vayigash. Ve'atam hivir oto la'arim. It says here, what did Yosef do? He moved the Egyptians around from town to town. Yes, when they couldn't afford to pay for the food, Yosef moved them around. And you could ask, who cares? What, we have to know Yosef's internal policies in Egypt? He moved them around from here to there. He did or he didn't, who cares? So, what does Reish Lakish say is the importance of it? My nafkamina, what do we learn from this? Delo likru le'achav galvata. He says that Yosef did this in order that the Egyptians shouldn't point to his brethren, Bnei Yisrael, and say, oh, you guys are strangers. So Yosef says, okay, what I'll do is I'll move everybody around in all of Egypt, the whole Egypt, I'll move them from town to town, so everybody's a stranger, so they won't make fun of the Jews. Now I'm going to tell you like this. Wouldn't it be an easier solution, instead of moving the whole country around to make all the Egyptians into strangers, why didn't Yosef just tell Bnei Yisrael, who were just 70 people, that's what the Torah says, who came down, just tell those 70 people, you guys don't be strangers. You guys, you could start calling yourself Egyptian names, you start eating Egyptian food, doing Egyptian kind of things, celebrate Egyptian Thanksgiving. Why don't you do that kind of stuff? Isn't that an easier solution? Have them not be strangers. The answer is, obviously, that it is important and integral that the Jewish people remain feeling strangers. And in order to preserve that, rather than say, Yosef is not going to tell them, oh, you guys stop, you have to continue being strangers. I don't want the Egyptians to make fun of you for it, but you have to feel like you're strangers. As the Medrash in Shema Rabbah says, that Bnei Yisrael, the zchut that they had to get out of Egypt was that they didn't change their names. They walked around with Jewish names, so they felt out of place. They had their Jewish clothing, so they felt out of place. And also, they didn't change their language. Everything to retain themselves being a stranger. I'll tell you why. Because as long as a Jew feels that he's a stranger in Galut, then he says, I am in the right mental place. Knowing that I do not belong in Galut, maybe one day I'll get out of Galut. But the second a Jew in Galut starts feeling fine, says, oh, I got this great kosher supermarket here, I got amazing savings, and selling Hanukkah decorations, my name is I don't know what, Stephen, even though it's really Zvi, people call me Stephen, and it's not weird, and I really fit in. At that moment, that's when the Jewish person starts feeling not like a stranger in Galut. That's when it becomes very, very difficult to ever get out of Galut. So what Yosef was doing was, he says, listen, I'm planting the seeds. I don't want the going to make fun of you, but on the other hand, you guys have to remember that you're supposed to be strangers and you're supposed to feel that you're strangers because only a stranger will ever go and leave his place that he is looking for his true home. Shabbat Shalom.